Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. My next two videos are dedicated to resolving some of the feng shui misconceptions I'm asked about all the time in the comments. You guys are sending me questions about feng shui interior design, and I also get these questions a lot from clients. So in order to actually help you understand what some of these misconceptions are and where they come from, I decided to dedicate my next two videos just to those. And hopefully this will help you to panic a little bit less about certain things that you see in your home or outside your home. There's often a lot of fear attached to internal feng shui. Everybody always thinks, oh my God, this is a bad form, this is bad for me, and this is going to create really, really negative qi flow. Most of the times, there's absolutely no need to worry. So let's have a look at what it is you don't have to worry about and don't have to be concerned about. So number one is color schemes. Yeah, this is something that I hear about a lot, and this is really a new age concept that is complete nonsense. You do not have to be painting or decorating your home in a particular color. New agers or new age feng shui, as we call it, it really gets this totally wrong. While color schemes obviously do have a psychological impact on you, they don't really contribute to your feng shui whatsoever. I mean, maybe to like 2-3%, and that's so small that you may as well not do it. Colors are associated in feng shui with certain flying stars or with certain sectors merely as a name to remember these particular stars or energy better. But that does not mean that you have to decorate a particular room in a certain color. Imagine you hate the color blue, but some person tells you, "Oh, well, from now on you can only wear blue, you have to decorate your bedroom in blue, your study in blue, you're going to be miserable," right? So please forget about the concept of decorating your home in feng shui colors. This does not exist, and no classical feng shui master in Asia will ever tell you such things. Yeah, this is not needed. There's no such thing as a feng shui color or mandatory colors for particular sectors in your home. It's a misconception that has been brought into the concept of feng shui by new age practitioners who really do not properly understand the basics of feng shui classics. The next one has to do with so-called feng shui dimensions. Now, this is a bit of an obscure one. You don't hear this too often, but when I hear about it, people are really concerned. So there is such a thing as a feng shui ruler. And as you can see here, it's a normal ruler where you have centimeters and inches demarcated on the ruler, but then at the same time, you have certain Chinese characters that indicate directions for where you want qi to come in and qi to flow out. Now, this is then being used again, unfortunately, by new age practitioners to measure out the length of a room, whether it has a positive qi flow or not, depends on the height of the ceiling, the width, the length, whatever. Now, let me tell you that these feng shui rulers are only used for yin house feng shui. Yin house feng shui um, is feng shui that has to do with graveyards, with burial plots, with the alignment of tombstones, and with the grave itself. It is never being used in yang house feng shui, and yang house feng shui refers to residences or offices of the living. Yeah, so you do not need to be concerned with feng shui dimensions when you implement any sort of remedies in your home or in your office or in your shop or wherever. This is really only used in yin house feng shui. No need to use this whatsoever for your home or office. Now, the next one we've got here is the question of whether you should be using tiles or wooden floor in the house. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily just have to be the kitchen, but generally in the house. And a lot of clients go a little bit overboard because they have been told, for example, by an astrology master that wood element is your favorite element and you should use more of it. And so they go ahead and then they just have wood tiles everywhere. The entire house is done in wood. And that may look nice, but in certain countries, that's not necessarily all that practical. If you live in Southeast Asia, where it's fairly humid, having an entirely wooden house, everything is wood, attracts termites, maybe other insects, rodents. It could also lead to a lot of mold developing. So it's not a great idea. Whereas in other countries, if someone is being told, oh, well, your earth is your favorite element, so then they go ahead and just have tiles. Everything is in marble and very, very cold. Now, if you live in Russia, where it's cold generally, that's probably not such a good idea. So let me reassure you that it is absolutely irrelevant whether you, from a feng shui perspective, whether you have uh, stone tiles or wooden floors in your home. This is a perfectly fine personal preference that you can take. It has nothing to do with feng shui. Feng shui is about location, direction, and qi flow. And neither the tiles nor the wooden floors have any impact on that whatsoever. So go ahead and decorate your home in any which way you want, and be assured that there's no negative feng shui impact on what type of floor you have in your home. Now, then the type of furniture, that's also often a question. Some people think, oh, it has to be all Chinese style, for example, just because feng shui or Chinese metaphysics does come from Asia. And so a lot of Western clients think that, okay, well, in that case, if we follow Chinese metaphysics, we need to decorate our home like a Chinese restaurant. Please don't do that. Well, unless you really want to, but most people don't. Now, the type of furniture, again, is absolutely irrelevant. Decorate your home in any which way you want. The only thing that I want you to keep in mind is to make sure that your home does not become cluttered. And that's really the main key here. Don't clutter your home. But apart from that, whether you use a minimalistic style of furniture or a more classical and opulent style, that's up to personal taste. After all, you're the one having to live there. You need to be happy. And so if a particular type of furniture makes you happy, then please go ahead and use it. It has no impact on your feng shui. Now, doors, again, I think I mentioned that in one of my previous videos. When it comes to the main door, we're not concerned about the color, the texture, the material of the main door, whether it's a doorknob or a door handle. We also don't care whether it's a sliding door or a regular door. I mean, just any door will do. Yeah, you need to get into the house somehow. What we're looking for has more to do with the orientation and the location of the main door. So from a feng shui perspective, all that is relevant is how is the main door aligned with the forms outside? What directionality is it taking? What kind of qi is it inviting in? And just by having a particular colored door or a door that is made from a particular material doesn't mean that better or worse qi is going to enter your home. So please get any door you want, any color you want, be absolutely free with the style you choose. What we care about is that you see positive forms and energies on the outside and then invite those energies in with the help of feng shui. Now, toilets. That one is something that comes up all the time. And for some reason, people think that toilets in general are shati. Shati is the technical term for negative qi or negative energy. Now, a toilet in and of itself is not negative energy. On the contrary, you need toilets in your home. I mean, you want to flush away the waste. Yeah, so you need a toilet in order to just be hygienic. There's no way around it, unless of course you want to have an outhouse like what they had in the old days, but that's not very practical. So the the thought that a toilet in and of itself is negative is completely wrong. Again, that's a new age concept. I don't know where that comes from, but it's definitely wrong. You also cannot flush your wealth away in a toilet. It does not happen, right? So even if you happen to have the wealth stars located in your toilet or in your washroom, that doesn't mean that with every flush you're going to flush away the wealth. That does not happen. And what are you going to do? Are you just not going to flush your toilet? That would also be rather bad. So please just um, calm down when it comes to the topic of toilets. They are not negative feng shui. They have no impact whatsoever on the positive vibration of your home. And you simply cannot flush away your wealth through the toilet. It is not possible whatsoever. Then there is the topic of art and paintings in general. A lot of people, they have motivational quotes or maybe calligraphy artfully displayed in their living rooms or dining rooms or just all over the house. And many of them are concerned about whether or not that actually invites in positive energies or not. Or maybe someone has a display of fairly violent art or painting in the house, or maybe a tiger, aggressive tiger, and they're worried that this may invite negative energies. Let me assure you that this is not the case. Again, art has to do with your personal preference. It does not invite in positive or negative energies. It is just a painting. If you feel good looking at the painting, if it motivates you, or if it makes you feel calm or at peace, or just if you just love looking at a particular piece of art, then psychologically it is good for you. That's all I can tell you. There's no feng shui connotation to art. Again, we in classical feng shui work with qi flow, energy flow that we are directing from one area to the other. That is not done with art. Yeah, that is maybe done with room dividers or with the positioning of furniture, or just generally checking where are the doors, how are the doors aligned. But art in and of itself will not have any impact on qi flow at all. It cannot invite in negative energies. Then, of course, cactus. So this is a topic I get asked about a lot, and this comes from the thought that, or from the correct principle that sharp edges and corners do have a negative impact in feng shui. However, when we talk about sharp edges and corners, we're thinking more about the corners of billboards, or the corners and sharp edges of neighboring buildings pointing directly at us. The thorn of a cactus is not considered negative energy, is not considered a sharp corner or a sharp edge. And so if you're sitting with your back towards a cactus, you don't have to worry. Um, Conversely, the cactus will not have the ability to repel negative energies from the outside. So this is also something that some people claim will protect you from any outside danger. If you have cacti in on your windowsill, next to the window, it will automatically defend you against any negative form that could be outside. This is not true. It's just a cactus. It's really quite small. So it's not going to protect you from anything. It's also not going to harm you. So if you are a fan of cacti, have as many as you want, please. Again, um, it has a more of a psychological impact than any feng shui impact. If you love cacti, have as many as you want, be happy and display them wherever you want. And you can sit with your back to those cacti, no worries whatsoever. You're not going to get harmed. Then we've got faucets and water pipes. Now, there is an obscure belief in feng shui that what internal water faucets and water pipes are internal water mouths or a tea mouth. Now, this again is not true. In order for water to be considered um, a water feature or a tea mouth, it has to be of a considerable size, and it also has to be open, and we need to be able to see the water. Now, if the water is contained in a pipe inside a wall, we can't see it. And even if it's in a faucet like what you can see here, we can't usually see the water because it's not running all the time. In order for water, be that in a kitchen or a bathroom, to actually be considered a water feature, it would have to be running the entire time 24/7. Or, for example, you'd have to have your bathtub full of water all the time, and nobody does that. So if that is not the case in your particular flat, then you don't have to worry about faucets and pipes, and also don't worry about where in your apartment those pipes and faucets are located. um, some people believe falsely that if you sleep with your head towards a wall inside which you have a water pipe, your sleep will be disturbed. That again is not true. And it would make it also really quite difficult if you're living in an apartment building to find any type of wall you can put your headboard against. Because if you're living in an apartment building, there will be water pipes in almost every wall. So makes it quite difficult. And unless you then decide to just live outside in a tent or in a camper, you'll never be able to avoid this. So again, please don't worry. Your faucets and water pipes can be located anywhere. They do not have a feng shui impact, and you're not going to get sick or have bad relationships or have poor wealth luck just because your water pipes are located in the wall just behind your headboard. And then last one for today is the misbelief that stairs should have a certain number of steps. So a lot of people think that stairs should have about 5 steps because 5 steps represent the 5 elements. Again, this is quite impractical because I doubt that you will reach your first floor from the ground floor in just 5 steps. That's very often not realistic. And when we're talking about steps leading up from the outside, from the street level to your main door, then 5 steps are maybe even too much because it's already too steep and T won't be able to reach your main door. But inside the house, don't worry about the number of steps. Yeah, you need exactly the number of steps to get from one floor to the other, and that will be the correct number of steps. Don't worry about 5 or 3 or 10 or whatever, how many other numbers they will throw out there. You need to reach one floor from one floor to the other. Yeah, and if that takes 7 steps, 15 steps, I don't know, 20 steps, then by all means, that's the kind of stairs that you're gonna have. All right. So I hope that this has cleared up some of the misconceptions. I will post the second part of this video in a couple of days. And if you have any questions about this, please do contact me. Feel free to send me an email or send me a message on Facebook. All my contact details are in the notes below.